Hey,
It's only 4 months.
that's easy for you to say. You just go on your family.
Hello everyone,
Hi, Guru.
and
Hello,
yourself,
everyone.
everybody. Let me wait for 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll continue. All right, so can we start everyone? I think most of us are here. So let's continue with our existing application. First, let's discuss and we'll do it around for around 10 to 15 minutes. And then we will go with something called Redux. We'll start it from scratch once again. So we will not relate with our existing application. And then it will take some time to complete Redux because Redux contains some other package as well, like Redux Thunk, Redux middleware.
King my chubby bunny.
And then after completing this Redux, we will go with something called different rendering techniques in React XD, and something called Next.js. All right, so um, um, let me see if I receive some any request or any progress in this repository, any pull request. I think you are still working on it. So yeah, I have given you some work to do. So just try to implement filter features there and some of the other remaining features. Let me just quickly recap the testing part once again, and then we will move to Redux person. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. We can also discuss here. Okay, give me a moment. Let me connect with microphone and then I'll share my screen. Okay, so we were actually trying to talk something about test person last time. Let's continue here. So actually we have a lot of components like this is a really simple application. Still we have like app component which is rendering rest of the components. Cart component is doing work related to cart product. Filter component is doing work related to filtering the available sizes. Products component is displaying all the products and each and every feature regarding each and every individual product, because inside product component we still have another product component here and products component here. So and we have context as well, and this is regarding TypeScript thing. We don't need to test TypeScript person, and this is regarding API fetching, or we need to test it. So it means we need to have the test file for each and every component, the context and the API as well. So I'll provide you an example by just testing this product component, and then you can try testing other components as well. That will not be that much difficult if you view from the different perspective, because here we don't have browser, right? Okay, so let's start. Yeah, we don't need to actually now open the browser, so we can do it right here, but we want to see what is the output, just to visualize while we are testing. So let me just run the output, but we will not actually test it on the browser. Actually it is React TypeScript. Okay, all right. So here we are going to test this component, this whole product component, right? We haven't actually added some feature here. Actually, that is the to do for you. Maybe just work on it and send some pull request. Maybe you can discuss or merge it here. Okay, right now we are going to test this person. So what do we understand by testing this particular person? Actually, we want to make sure whatever we are doing here is actually what we want to display, or what the feature is. What I mean is, sometimes we are doing we are seeing it correctly displaying, but the feature behind, or the logic behind it is not properly working for all the inputs. So at that time we will not be confident about whatever we are doing. So for example, if somebody asks you while you are working, are you sure this will work for each and every price, or each and every image? For example, what will happen if you don't have image? What will happen if you don't have this title? Will it crash? Something like that. And then you will not be able to answer at that time if you haven't tested. You will not feel confident, more confident, if you haven't written test case for that particular component. So, but if you have written test cases means you will test each and everything here are working for each and every input. Then you will say that you will say in confident it will work, right? So that is what we are going to do here. So you can see here we have this product which are coming from API, right? We don't have this we have this here as well in our local database, but usually you will not have such kind of local database. You will directly receive it from some API. So at that time, what you need to do is you need to actually see what is coming from the API. You already need to know what is the response coming from API, right? We have these data which are coming from API. So what you need to do is you need to take some data from there, or make your own data. For example, I will take some of these, and you need to actually make fake products. Okay, this is like mock products. These are called mock products as well. So I'll go here, and I'll create a folder called you will see something like __ test __ uh, because this is the test for this product component. So that's why I have created this folder inside there. But you may create a global folder called __ test __, or that may be only test. This is just a name. Okay, that name may be anything, but most of the time it will be something like that. And here inside this folder you will write you will actually write the test cases. I'll actually send it here, because this is the test file for this product component. And here we will create another file called mock products .ts. So in this file we want to mock our product. Okay, we want to mock our products. Simply we will just paste whatever we actually copied previously. These are the products, actual products coming from API, but the value may be different. You can actually change the value here. But this properties shouldn't be changed. They should be exactly match the property coming from your database. Okay, we will simply export it from here, and these mock products actually are of type I products, right? Because whatever we actually have here are product of type I product. We have already specified here. So now we want to actually these are all the products which are of type I products. So I can say I products as well. Okay, this is coming from my model. Let me see if I can see there. Because I products, actually it is I product, it's an array of I product. You can go here and can just grab I product on the top. It is not important, I think. I product. VS Code is not able to import it. Let me import it from here. I product from you can just write @ @/model, because we are getting it from model. So you can see now these are mocked products, right? Mocked product means this will look similar to the actual data, but the value may be different. But the properties should not be changed, because we need it here while we are testing. We cannot directly send requests to API each and every time when we are testing. We can actually, but it will unnecessarily send GET request or other request to the API, and it will impact API performance, or we will get data from API slightly slower as well, and that will be asynchronous request as well. So we don't want to deal with that case. We just want to say what is the response coming from our API, and then we just want to store it somewhere here, like this, in some variable. We will not store all the data. We can pick some of this data, and we will call them called mocked data or mock products, and then we will actually use it to test this component. Okay, so this is mock products. So now let's go and see what is inside our product. We are going to test this, right? This product is rendering these things. So we want to see if this is actually rendered or not. Rendered means if it is actually printing on the screen on this browser like this or not. So we just want to see is it printed or not. We want to test what is printed later, but we just want to see is it printed or not. So to see if it is printed or not, we will just use this render method from testing library React. Here you can see we are just using this render method for now. Let me delete all this thing from here, then we'll delete it. So we are just rendering this for now. So you can see this product is accepting product, right? Because product component is rendered here. Actually it is rendered here. While we are rendering product component, we are passing this product prop, isn't it? And this product prop is actually the mocked product that we have here for now. But while we are writing React component, this product prop will be the actual product. For now, we will not use actual prop. We need to import this product actually from product here, right here. We are going one step back and importing product. Now here we will replace this one with mock products. Actually, this is the single product. You can say, let me go here, and this is, yeah, these are multiple products here. We need to pass multiple, yes, because when you see here, we are passing each and every product to this product field, but that can be any of the product because we are mapping it here. So for now, let's not map. Let's just pass. We can just grab single product. If we don't send it in an array, if we just send it in an object, but currently we are sending it in an array. We can just access array. Maybe we can destructure here about the first element, or we can just accept first element, second element, third element in this way. So this is the third element actually, 0, 1, 2. This is the second element. This is the first element. Okay, we are just passing the first product now. We are using the first product, this product for now, right? We can change it here and maybe we can use other as well. But let's see what will happen if we actually try to render it now, or if we try to test it now actually. So what should we do to test, what should we write here to test this component, to run this code here to test this product component? What should we write in our terminal? Do you remember? Previously we did write some script, use some script and write something on the terminal.
Is it just taste or like yarn taste?
Yeah, yarn test. Because when you go here in the package.json, you can see test here. Test is already specified inside scripts. Now you can just write yarn test. So let's hit enter. It is saying couldn't find because I need to go inside React TypeScript first, this folder, and then I can write yarn test. Okay, now it is using this test file and the test is failed. Let's see why this test is failed. Okay, it is saying like you are trying to render this component, but you haven't wrapped it with something called context. See, because it will not actually use context here, right here. While we are testing, we are not wrapping it with context because it will not take that context from somewhere from main here, because we have wrapped with context. This is the product provider, this is the card provider, card context and product context. But here we haven't wrapped it with our context. That's why it is showing us that error. It means we need to actually wrap it with the context. Okay, and this product should be a one product, a single product here, and that will go in cart actually. So then what we can do is we can wrap it with the context here. Maybe we'll do something like this, and we will actually send this person in here, and outside this we need to actually wrap this with the context. So now we need to once again create our context here. Okay, because once again wrap it with the context, because we have already created the context. We can just use that context because we don't have that context here. While we are testing, we cannot use we cannot assume that whatever we are using here, whatever we are wrapping with here, will come here. Okay, we cannot assume that it will not actually come here. So we need to wrap it once again. We need to wrap with context once again. So what we can do is we can take our context, right? So but let's do one more thing here. We want to specify that here this product here, this is a mock product actually. This should be only a single product, because there shouldn't be two products, something like this. Two product named this title. So this will actually go in cart. This is like cart product as well. We can treat it as a cart product as well, because it will go in cart, right? So at that time, what you can do is write one more quantity here, right? You can write quantity and increase, and you can go here and make it cart product. Okay, maybe we'll look at that, but let's first wrap it with the context. Okay, because we don't have context right now here while we are doing. So how can I use context here? Where is our context? Can you tell me where is the product context right now? Right here, context, product context. Okay, this is the product context provider, product provider. So we can directly write product provider here. Okay, and close it as well. Because previously we also did this here as well, product provider. And inside product provider, we have app, and inside app, we have products. Inside products, we have product. But currently, we don't have that nested logic here while we are testing. That's why we are directly writing product provider here. Okay, it says product provider is not defined. Let's import it. Oh, actually, it is not importing on the top, I think. Product provider, we'll do it ourselves then. So we want to import product provider from @ /context /product context and / product context provider. It is coming from here. Okay, so now we are wrapping it with product provider. Let's see what will happen now. Okay, do we have more than one test? Some test is passing it. It is saying, let me just run it once again. We'll see what is happening. Beyond test. Okay. It is saying that cart context. So cart context must be within the provider. It is saying to use cart context. So we are using product context here, right? Here we are using product provider, but let me just comment it for now. Comment this as well, and let's save it. And let's see the error once again. See here, cart context must be within a provider. So it means let's use that cart provider here. I'll use cart provider. And now we have cart provider. Let's see what will be the error. Now see, it is now passing. So we are actually wrapping it with cart provider, and it is passing. So cart provider is seeing whether this product is rendered or not. We are just rendering it. Whatever we are doing here is we are just seeing whether it can be rendered on the screen or not. Okay, this is all what we are doing. So this is the first step. Each and every test should have your render function, and that should contain the component that you are rendering. For example, later if you go here in your let's go to another component, like let's go to cart component. Here we have cart products and we have cart product. For example, if you want to test this product, cart product, you will create a folder called test folder, and there you write cart product. This is cart product test.tsx. Okay, so in here as well, you will first write a function called test, and in there you will write two arguments. First one is what you are doing here. This is just a description, like should test product cart component. This is the first argument, and second argument is your callback function. So where is this test coming from? This test. Where is this test function coming from actually? How can we use this test function?
Is it importing from vtest?
Yeah, if you go in product, we have done it, right here, test. So the vtest is actually providing us this test. So we need to import it from vtest. The test function is coming from vtest. Okay, now it is fine. And then in here, inside this callback function, we need to use render function. So where is this render function coming from? Tell me. Where is this coming from?
React testing library is.
Yeah, exactly. React testing library. So it is coming from @testing hyphen library / React package. So in here, we will now render which component? We need to render cart product component, isn't it? We are trying to test it. That's why we need to render it. Whatever you are trying to test, you will render that particular component. We are trying to test currently cart product component. So we will render cart product component. If you go here, this is the cart product component. We will just write here cart product. It is here, cart product component. But it is not fine. Let's go what is there in cart product component. It is accepting product once again. Okay, it is accepting product, right? We need to write product equals to. So what kind of product is it accepting? Is it a normal product or product in the cart?
Product in the cart.
Product in the cart, yeah. So we need to mock that product here now. So you can write mock cart product.ts. So here you will just get some products here from here, maybe similar products, but what we will do here is we will add quantity as well, because that is the product in the cart. Actually, we can go here, we can go in static product, and here we don't have quantity. Still we don't have quantity, we need to add quantity there. So let's copy it, this person. Let's go here and paste, and what I'm doing here is just copying the products right now, and this will be the cart product. You can say cart product, and cart product will be of type I cart product, right? And these are different cart products, that's why we can write it in array. But what is missing here in product cart? There is error. Product cart contains quantity as well, right? Isn't it? Quantity, let's say 1. Now this is fine. And here let's say quantity, you can write 2 as well. You can have 2 product in the cart as well, right? Same product. Okay, this is the mocked product. Now let's go to our component where we are our test file. Now here we will pass we have already exported it, mock. This is actually, you can say this is mock product and this is mock cart product. This is cart product. Let's say mocked cart product, and let's import it here, mocked cart product. Okay, so now we have issue here. So it is saying like iCart product is missing the following properties from iCart product. Why do you think it is saying that? Because here you can see expected type comes from property product, which is declared here, product. Okay, so we are passing product, and we haven't actually used it. Maybe we haven't actually typed it, right? What kind of product is this? Is that the reason? Let's go and see what we did for our product component. But here, if you see, we have directly used this mock products. It's fine, but we're using mock cart products. Let's go there, and we are properly typing it as well. What do you think? What is what is miss or wrong here, or what is missing here? Is it fine? Cart product, we can pass product, and this is a mock cart product. Can we pass this mock cart product to cart product? Actually, this is the single product in the cart, right? In our cart, for example, if I add this product in the cart, this is the single product. We are passing all the products here, right? Maybe we can pass single product here in the cart in this way. Now this is the single product in the cart. Okay. So let me save it now, and let's go and let's see what will happen if we try to run it once again. So you can see it has already actually tested it. Let's run the test script once again. Yarn test. And now you can see our test is failing, and it is saying that it is actually failing in our style portion. So there is something wrong in our style.ts file. So it is trying to find the secondary color, but it is not able to. So it is going theme.color, and it is not sure whether secondary will be there or not. It is saying like cannot read properties of undefined. Because this secondary color, if you remember, this what you are writing here, it is our own theme. It is not coming from style component. This is our own theme. So then what we can do is, let's go there. Let's go in style.ts, and let's see where is this coming from. Line number 63. Let's go in line 63, somewhere here, right? It is trying to actually find secondary from colors, and it is saying that cannot read properties of undefined. Means until here we have it already coming from style component, and this is the part we have added ourselves. So let's add question mark here, because this is the part. So this is optional, because optional for style component. So let's save it. And now once again test is failing. Now it is failing on line number 40. So if you go here on line number 40, this is the same thing. So until here, this is coming from a style component, and this is the part added by ourselves. So if it cannot find this part, then it will just stop the execution until here. Let's save it now. Now we have once again similar issue coming from different line. So wherever we are writing that line number 79, we need to actually write question mark and save. Now see, our test is passing. So what happens here is this is actually the portion that is actually created by ourselves. So what we can do is we can actually write similar to mock cart product. We can create mock theme as well, and we can wrap with that mock theme. We can wrap this cart product with our mock theme. So at that time, it should work. We don't have to go here and actually optionally use it. But it is also fine, because we can also write this here in our test file, in our style file. Because what we are doing here is we are adding something ourselves. So it is best practice to actually check whether that property exists or not. All right, otherwise it will crash. At this location our application will crash, because when second colors is not there, and when secondary is also not there, then this will crash. So we need to check whether colors and secondary both are present or not by using this question mark. Question mark is optional chaining. It will just check for the property whether it is there or not. Right, so yeah, in this way we can simply test this simple component called we have tested our cart product as well. So let me go to product component. We are doing it here. So until now, what we are doing is we are simply testing whether it can be printed on the screen or not. This is only what we are doing. What is the content printed on the screen is not tested until now. Currently, we are testing whether we can print it on the screen or not. Yeah. So here we are sending mock product 0. It is coming from here, mock product 0, and the price is 1200.45. So when you go in your terminal, we are not seeing what is printed on the screen right here. So I think we have another function called debug. Let me see. So debug should be coming from testing library. Let's see. Let me quickly search for debug React library. Why I'm actually specifying this is because we want to see what is printed on the DOM currently. So it will actually give us the result that looks something like this. So what we can do is we can, actually it is coming from screen. So screen.debug, and we will pass the result coming from rendering this. Maybe we can pass result coming from rendering this component. So let's try it. We have a screen coming from our testing library React here. So after rendering it, we will use a screen.debug, and if I save it now, see, now it is providing you actual content printed on the screen at this time, because we cannot see on the browser, right? This is just for the final visualization, but this is not what we are doing here. This is not coming from this test person. This is coming from yarn dev, not yarn test, right? So that's why we need to see the response coming from yarn test. So this is the content currently printing on the screen. On the screen, we have free shipping. We have this title, see, this title here, and this is the price, and we have this price here, and yeah, this .45 is actually in the span tag. That's what we want, and add to cart. Okay, this is actually in the screen right now, and this is what we want as well, right? So can you tell me how can I actually test this price 1200 is actually printed on the screen, or this 1200.45? Actually this price, this 1200 and 45 are different element actually here, because they are styled. This is the B tag, inside B tag, this is inside the span tag. But can you tell me whether 1200 is in on the screen or not? Because we cannot actually see all the time by writing screen.debug. If you don't write this, we don't know whether it is on the screen or not. So is there a way, we have actually done it last time. Is there a way to test the content on the screen, the available content on the screen? Do you think? We want to test something available on the screen. Actually, is it available there or not? Right? So we already have a screen here, right? Now what we can do is we can just use, let's say, similar to screen.debug. If I write screen dot, then you will see whatever the property available in the screen are here. So we can use any of the property here, like you can see screen dot, go all the way down, screen dot, this is get by text query. So and this is get all by text. So maybe we can use this get by text, and maybe we can get some text from here, maybe this 1200, maybe this title, right? So screen dot get by text, and let's say let me just write this text here, screen.getByText. See, now it is failing. Screen.getByText, it is failing here. If I write this title here, because it is available on the screen, now it is passing. If I just mistakenly write this title, I'm not writing the whole title. If I save it now it is failing. So it is saying that this is not available in this screen, actually something like that. But we want to test it, right? We haven't actually completed it. So what we will do is this screen.getByText, whatever we are writing here, let's write it on product title. This product title should be there on the screen. So now we will use something called expect. This is coming from just DOM. So actually it is also coming from vtest. So if you remember previously, expect vtest, let's go to vtest documentation, and we will see there. Here you can see expect function is coming from vtest. So we can just import it from vtest here on the top here, expect. So what we are expecting this product title. What we are expecting this product title. Here you can see all the results that you can use. So a lot of properties are here already created for you. So many properties which will actually help you to check if it is undefined, if it is valid, if it is visible. What we want to use right now to be in the document, if that is in the document or not. So we will check whatever this title we are getting, is it on the document or not. So let's say, and our test is passing. But if I write, let's say C small letter, cropped, only the C is small letter here. Now if I save it now it is saying this is not on the document because this is actually the capital letter, right? So now we are confident that our title will be always on the document wherever it is, whenever it is coming from product. So yeah, if the title is not there, like if it is empty title, then it is not going to be in the document. Okay, so yeah, this is what we are checking here. Okay, so in this way, here what we did is we used the provider, we mocked our product, and we check if something on the screen or not. Okay, we can also actually, if there is some function, if you have written some function in your component, maybe on the product component here, then at that time as well, what you can do is you can import that function here and you can pass your data to that function. And at that time you can check whether that function is properly working or not as well. Okay, so yeah, this is the simple overview of testing. There are something more as well regarding testing. I just want to give you a small overview only because testing itself contains more topics. We need to sometime mock actual response like it is coming from your Axios. At that time, you need to mock the mock that Axios, right? So you can type mock Axios in retest using React testing library. What I'm saying is when you want to actually exactly expect the result that should be coming from Axios, what we will do is in our test, let's see if it has mocked. Yeah, we'll write something called, we'll just import Axios and we will use this jest. Okay, we'll use this jest package. It is actually it hasn't actually shown us where it is imported from. Oh, we have actually done it, make it available globally. So we will actually use this jest dot mock function, and this function is actually mocking Axios. So mocking Axios means whatever result coming from Axios with real API, a similar result will come with our mocked data as well. So we are using mock data, right? We will pass our mock data. For example, if I go all the way down here, you can see we have used just dot mock and Axios, and then let's see whether we are using it somewhere. Yeah, here, and we are using mocked Axios dot get. Now we are passing our one data. These are our one data, similar to the data that we have in our file. So at this time, we will pass our one data to our Axios library, and it will give the result, which looks like real data coming from real API. So the format will be the similar. Okay, it will use this data, but the format will be the similar. At that time, what we can do is we can actually use this mocked version of the Axios to implement the actual API, because we will not use actual API. We will not send GET request to actual API. At this location, we can send GET request as well, axios.get and real API URL as well. But while we are testing, we don't want to actually call real API. That's why we will mock our data. All right, so there is something called fire event.click. So this fire event library is actually coming from this React testing library. But if you remember, we have previously installed something called, let's go to package.json, something called user event. If you remember, we have already used this jest term as well as React. So jest will be used to actually write something called to be in the document, to be null after expect, right? So React testing library used to render it on the screen, accepting the screen or render function. Now let's try to use this testing library user event. So what is this testing library user event? Let's go to the official documentation. Because let me, if you try to learn it yourself, you will actually first go to their official docs. And if you can't, if it is not helping you, then you will go to some other third-party explanation as well. But if you see here, when you use this user event library and use this user event function from this user event library, then what you will do is you will just actually fire some JavaScript event, JavaScript event like click event, change event, something like that. When you click somewhere, then it will actually fire JavaScript event, right? So here as well, in our case, while we are testing product, we are clicking on add to cart, isn't it? We are clicking on add to cart. So let's try to implement it here. In our case, let's go to our product.test component. And there we want to actually import that user event. So it is coming from React testing library user event. Let's directly try to write it here. User. Actually, let me just go and grab that import directly from here. User event. So user event is coming from testing library user event here. So now we can directly use this user event. And inside this user event, actually user event will contain all the events. Like if you write dot, see, here you can see like upload, on hover, and keyboard hover, copy. There is click as well. So you can actually implement the real click, because we don't have browser. We cannot go here and click to test our application. So we need to actually use this click event coming from user event library, right? And in this click, where do we want to click? We want to click on that add to cart button. Let's first get that add to cart button. So we can store here cart button. Then this is cart button. And in this cart button, let's get this cart button from screen dot. So we will once again do that get by text, and here write add to cart. This is the text, right? We have here add to cart, and this cart is capital actually. Add to cart. So this is coming in the cart button, and now we want to click on this cart button, right? So we'll write it insert this cart button here. So we will click on this cart button, user event dot click. Okay, so what will happen if you click here? Then we will just store it somewhere like clicked result. Okay, clicked result. So if you run it now, if you can successfully click, then your test will not fail. Otherwise, if I just write add to cart, and if I save it now, see my test is failing here. It cannot get a title called a button called add to cart. So then we cannot click there if it is not available. So test is just failing right here. Okay, but if we try to directly pass some string here, so it will not accept it, because we want to get HTML element from screen and then pass it here. Okay, then first we will get something from screen, and then we will pass the same result here in user event.click. Okay, and we can now test the flow now. What will happen when we click? When I click here, then our cart will open, right? So this is like integration test now. Our cart is opening here, and that cart will contain, for example, if I just click here, our cart will open, and our cart should contain this title, right? This title. So once again, we can actually get this cart title. Now you can say screen.cart title. First, just try to get this cart title. Same result will be in the cart title as well, right? So product title will become cart title now, because it will also contain the same result. But cart will also contain quantity. You can just see quantity. You can check for quantity as well. You can say screen.get by text and quantity. You can say like cart quantity and screen.get by text. And here we will write quantity. When you just click once, you will see quantity 1 on the screen. This is cart quantity, and this is click result, right? When you click on the screen, then we are not using click result. You can just click here. Then you should see quantity 1. Now what do we need to do? We need to actually expect that result on the document. Okay, we need to actually use this here. If that is on the document, if this cart quantity in the document means in the screen. Currently we don't have a screen. In the virtual screen, whenever I am writing to be in the document, it means it is visible here. Okay, so if I save it now, see, test is failing now. So it means somehow it is not able to actually grab it. It is not available here. Quantity 1 is not available here. So that's why it is failing right here. Okay, so what may be the reason here why this is not available? Because when we click here on the add to cart button, this is the cart button, isn't it? Add to cart. And when you click here, now we are opening this cart product here, and it is not available in the document, it says. What may be the reason? Can you guess? When you think once again, we are actually testing this product component, right? We are testing this product component. So whenever we are testing this product component, we don't see any cart component here, do we? We don't see any cart component here. No cart component is here. We have cart product component, right? But we are not rendering this cart product component here, are we? We are not rendering, right? We see here in the testing process, we are only rendering product component. We are not rendering cart product component. This is the component coming from here, cart product component. So we are testing product component currently. So this is called unit testing in React. So unit means individual unit. Test individual unit only. Unit can also be sometimes recognized as components. We are testing individual component right now. So that's why we will only concern with this product component. So if you want to test this cart component, right, then we will go here in the cart portion here and test this cart component. Okay, but we need to link sometimes as well, right? We need to link that click from product component to the cart component. Okay, that's why whenever there is a linkage between two components, two unit testing, you can say two unit test, then that will become like integration test. We are integrating two components together now. So yeah, this is from here it will actually starts little bit advanced thing in testing, advanced concepts regarding testing. But I think if you just start doing this simple test for now, if you start actually writing render component, writing actually rendering it first and getting something from the screen, you can actually debug each and every time, right? You can actually write screen.debug here. What is happening once you click on the screen? For example, right here, what you can do is you can use screen.debug. Okay, because we don't have terminal, okay, we don't have browser. So we can just write screen.debug here. At this time, you will see what is there on the screen. So it is actually not running this test. So here, see, currently this is what you have on the screen. But can you see this portion on the screen? This one. We don't have 13.25 somewhere, right? That's why that test was failing. It was not rendered in the screen. That's why it is failing. So for that to pass, for that to see, you need to go in that product cart component and test that component. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I think I will stop here regarding test part because it will become slightly complex, more complicated. My main goal is to introduce test is what can you do with test? Okay, why do we need test, and why do we need to write test cases for our components, and what will happen if you write test cases? Because sometimes you are expecting something, but you are not getting it. You can now pass multiple products here. You can make multiple test cases for multiple products. For example, we have this product here. You can say you want to check for other currency, right? That may not come from API all the time. So you can create it here. For example, if you want to check for Indian currency, then you can check it there, change the value there, and just pass that value. For example, if you want to check for that third component, you can just pass that third component here and see if test is passing for that particular component or particular product or not. Now see, if we are currently passing this mock product coming from mock product. Yeah, this is first, second, and third, this one, and this has this title. This has this title actually. And now we are checking here in the product test for this title. That's why this title, that's why it is not passing here. Okay, so yeah, that's all for test part. There are like async function inside test as well. I have provided you one React testing repository already, I think, in GitHub. There I have done user event related thing, the async request related thing as well. Maybe you can follow that repository as well if you just want to expand your practice in this testing part. All right, so yeah, test means don't think you cannot think like you cannot open browser now while you are testing. Okay, you cannot run anything on the browser. While you are testing, you need to run everything on the terminal here. This is the first thing that you need to actually visualize or actually make sure, because if you cannot see anything on the browser, then you cannot console log, right? You cannot go and console log on the screen each and every time. If you want to do that, you need to do screen.debug. So screen.debug will provide you the snapshot, something like this. The snapshot, current snapshot of the rendered component on the screen. Okay, so yeah. So there is something called snapshot testing as well. You can also store this snapshot somewhere. So what will happen at that time is, if you just store this snapshot, then later if somebody changes this title and try to actually run the test will fail, because the snapshot, previous snapshot and the current snapshot will not match. So at that time, if you are intentionally doing it, you need to rerun the test part, retake the snapshot. Otherwise, you cannot simply go in some component and change some code from there, because it will impact the snapshot and your test will fail, and you cannot actually send it to your GitHub, make a pull request. You cannot do that until you pass your test. So yeah, just see about snapshot test as well. This is really simple. Like we need to actually create a snapshot by just using this rendered component. For example, we are rendering currently here, right? So we can just you can say rendered view. This is the current rendered view we are storing here. So what we can do is we can write here as well, or yeah, also we can write different different test functions as well. Okay, if you want to write this different test functions, then at that time it will be better if you just wrap it with some describe block. If those different test functions are related, then there is a block called describe, and in this describe block, you can just do the same thing, like first write the test related to component, or you can say product component. We may have multiple tests related to different things. This is you can say product rendering component, or rendering product component, something like that. Later you may have tests related to product logic itself, component logic, or functions in product component, we can say. So here you can just grab it from here and paste it here. It will also work. And what this will do is, now you will write multiple test functions. For example, you can write test function once again. So this is should test should actually create a snapshot of product company, and the second parameter is argument is the callback function. Now let me copy this portion here, and I don't want to store result here. So we haven't done something more, but let's see what will happen if I run this. So it will group now. So let me stop, run it once again. You can see it is passing 3 tests. Maybe we have this test related to checkbox. There was one test file, and currently, yeah, we have one test file here as well, card product. But this is the test that we have in our product.test.tsx. So here we can see 2, but let's see what will happen if we don't write this describe block. I think it should print more test file. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it says 4 passed out of 4, 3 test file, 4 test. Yeah, that's fine. But if we write this describe block, yeah, it's the same thing. But describe block I am expecting some title here, and under the title, it should actually first say should test product, should create a snapshot. I think it is not printed here, but what this will do essentially is this will group this test together, group the similar test together. So it will be easy to actually later see what is these 2 tests are about, because you can have around 5, 6, or 7 test function inside the same test.tsx file. At that time, you will be confused what are these tests related to. So at that time, you will group it using this describe block, group it together. Okay, so here we have this rendered view. What you can do is you can just this rendered view is actually storing the rendered portion. So this is like a component. Component is a function, right? You can just use that expect block now. Expect, it is coming from vtest once again, and expect this rendered view, and you need to actually call it. So now it is actually saying, yeah, it is non-callable. Yeah, that's right, because okay, it is actually storing the result coming from your render function. Oh, we have already used render function, and we are already rendering it. Okay, so what you will do is expect this rendered view. Let's see, we have some function. Yeah, you can see to match snapshot. So it means it will take a snapshot, and it will try to actually match this with the snapshot. So let's now see snapshot testing real quick. Okay. Yeah, it is. I think it is just not doing snapshot test here. Yeah, maybe I can go to the vtest itself. So see here. So what do you want to actually what is the snapshot that you want to make? We want to make the snapshot of result, and this should match to the snapshot. So what will happen at this time is, when this function is first running, it will create a snapshot. Okay? It will create a snapshot for this test file, and later we will try to match our view from that snapshot. This is like the snapshot test. So maybe I will expect just as maybe you will try to just hidden trial and make familiar with this snapshot test, and I expect from you to continue from here regarding snapshot testing as well as component testing, and you will see some snapshot folder there created when you run that snapshot testing. So there are similar products all the way, filter products, card products. This is not that much difficult to test because we have our mock function. Just remember that whenever you are wrapping something here, like theme provider, product provider, card provider, then you need to actually mock them yourself, or otherwise you need to use it yourself, because those will not come from here. You need to use them. And other things are not that much difficult. Like when you go and see what we did here, we use this render function from React testing library. We use this expect methods, and these are coming from your JS DOM. There is another package you can see here, JS DOM actually. So, and there are a lot of functions coming from JS DOM. So these are sometimes called matchers. And there is one repository I think I have already shared with you. Let me just open that, and then we'll end this there. I think there is a repository called RTL. Let's see. And in this repository, if you go and see, this is setting of React testing library, querying with RTL, and query method, and mimicking user interaction. These are slightly important. And you can see we have used this query method called get by text. And there is another query method like get by role for buttons. And if you go here, this is querying with RTL. There are some more query methods like get by X or find by X. So here you can see the example. All of them are explained, but some of them are used to create asynchronous functions. Okay, when you use this find by X method, so you can see find by text method is used here. At that time, your functions should be asynchronous. So another one is this user event library. So when you use user event library, then yeah, we have already used it, actually tried it, but you can once again try. For example, we cannot type here. If you have input field, we cannot type, right? At that time, you will use type user event, and you will type something and you will see if it is typed properly or not. Okay, so these are actually only the basics. We haven't gone slightly depth with test portion for now. But if you want, if you ask me, if we also have time, we can go slightly in advanced as well. Maybe you try to work with asynchronous request and the mock API, try to mock Axios as well, and try to make our mock our style component as well. Maybe we can go with that as well. But I just want to end here. So I just want you to try snapshot testing yourself. I just want you to try mock Axios yourself for now. I just wanted to try this asynchronous result yourself as well. Okay, you will see these are really important points here. We have like query by X method and find by X method. So there is a difference between this method when you want to use it as well sometimes when you are testing. So you need to be careful when you are using this method. So there are three types of method. One is get by X method. Get by X means the variable, right? Get by text, or you have get by role. This is get by X method. We have query by X method. Query by X method is like query by text, right? And there is another method like find by X method. So find by X method is like find by text. And when you are using find by X method, you need to use a sync function. And there is important difference you'll see here. It will query by text method will give you null value, and find by text method will not give you null value. Just try to read this file, and there are some exercise as well, and you have solutions as well in the commit already. So you can go and track these commits. There are 14 commits, and it is started from very scratch. You can see here. So when you go here, I have done it in React testing library. You can do it in Vite. React testing library is installed. You can see what is done here, what is done here, what is added here. We are adding header, simple header component. Later we will, I have tested that header component here as well. And you can follow this as well. And there on the top, you have this React testing library related questions. Just try to actually approach it as well. And I will end this test portion here for now. But we still have some more days. Just try to see something yourself first and ask me. So, hey, test is slightly complicated. Can you just yeah, take one day regarding testing components? Then we'll definitely talk and do it here. Okay. Will it work for you guys? So I'm only talking today. Maybe you can give me some suggestions if you have. Yeah, Ashish, Peter, Priyanka, Prasiddha.
Yeah, Gaurav, we're gonna give this testing a try. For sure. And as for question, I have none right now.
Mm-hmm. What is your question, Ashish?
Oh, I said I have no question as of now.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. All right. Okay, then. So test is completely different thing. Okay, don't think it like you are rendering something on the browser. So it is a slightly complex as well. But when you go with flow, that will not be that much complex. So I just suggest you first to complete this repository from here. So it is actually creating React project until here, React thought component. This is really simple. 2 or 3 components are there. I have simply created a small React project here. And from here, I have integrated React testing library. So just try to see these commits. I think you know how to move between multiple commits, right? How to see commit history. Okay, just let me know. Okay, that is also really important to see commit history. So, and just see what is done there. For example, different query methods. So what is done? For example, you can see here, and this is just a README file. We don't need it. And yeah, this is also README file. We don't need it. You can see how it is tested. So this is the component that we have, and these are the test solutions. And all the questions are already there. Okay, all the questions related to the solutions are already on that exercise portion. You can first try yourself, and that come here later and see what is happening here. So how it is solved. So it is rendered, something is coming from screen. We are typing ourselves something somewhere on the screen. We are actually clicking somewhere on the screen ourselves. So when you click, you need to wait for some time, because as soon as you click, it may not execute. That's why we have this fake timer here, like 500 millisecond. Yeah, you can just see and try yourself. This is the very fundamental of testing, React testing library. Once you complete it, then you can go with mocking different packages, mocking libraries, and mocking your provider's context as well. There is like React router. You can actually see how to test React router DOM with React testing library as well. All right, so let me just commit at this point. So I want to go to Redux now. This is entirely new, entirely different. That's why we will not be concerned with the previous thing that we have done. So all these things are completed now. I'll create another folder and I'll start from very scratch. Okay, now you can actually do it yourself. Try to do it yourself as well. So you don't need to worry about whatever we have did previously. If you also do not know anything, then you can actually join me here, because I'm going to start it from scratch once again, because Redux is very important. So let's create one folder, and in there we will actually explain the concept of Redux first. Only Redux, because Redux is not for React only. Then we will see how can we use Redux with React. Okay. So can we take some break and then continue? I think we have done quite a few things until now. So maybe we can take some break and continue, or what do you think? Or can we continue here?
Yes, let's take a small break.
Yeah, let's meet after 5 or 10. Okay, whatever you choose, then we will meet after this break and continue this session. All right. All right, hello everyone. Can we continue? Are we here, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter. Let's continue. So
Yes, correct. Let's go.
all right. So yeah, let's start Redux then. Until here, don't worry if you don't know some of the concept, like don't know about TypeScript, not to worry about it. If you don't know optimization things, it will not be related here. If you don't know the testing portion, it is also not related here, but context is somehow related, and you need to recall the use reducer hook. That is somehow related, not exactly related with the Redux package itself, but some of the concepts will be connected here. So let's go and make a folder called Redux, and let's see what is Redux. So Redux is actually, it is a state management library, you can say solution, especially for JavaScript application, especially used it is more popular in JavaScript applications. Okay, so but Redux is also used in other platform as well. For example, if you know something called Flutter, it is a cross-platform mobile development environment or package, you can say, where you can also use Redux to manage states. But it is more popular for JavaScript application, and it is also not created for React especially, but it is mostly used in React to create a store, because React by default doesn't have any support like other frameworks, because in other framework there is one framework called Svelte, where there is native store, built-in support for native store to store all the states in one location. But for Redux, it is not available. Sorry, for React, it is not available. That's why we will use Redux. You can say Redux is a third-party solution to manage states. Okay, it is actually a third-party solution, but it is actually created by one of the popular developer at Facebook itself. So he has created this Redux toolkit, Redux package, and later he went to Facebook. Now the Redux is constantly maintained, and it is widely popular in this React world as well. So let's see. You can simply create one folder here. Delete this one. You can simply create one folder called Redux, and you don't have to do anything there. Okay, just create only Redux folder and open it with VS Code. Maybe you can try doing together with me right now. Okay, it will help you to ask me some question as well to understand the concepts as well. All right, so for now, we want to discuss something about Redux only. There are other packages, like what we want to explore in this session regarding Redux is, first we'll explore Redux. What is Redux? We'll see what is Redux. Okay, we'll talk about this first, and there is something called React Redux. Okay, we'll use it in our React project. There is called Redux toolkit. This is what we need to do. We need to use, and this is what is used in real React project. And there is like Redux thunk. Okay, it is for asynchronous things, asynchronous request response, and it is also called middleware. We'll see what is middleware there. And there is called Redux Saga. Okay, so we are going to actually deal with these things within our Redux journey. So we don't know what are these things until now. This Redux Saga, Redux Thunk are more related to asynchronous, more related to sending request to API, asynchronous request you can currently imagine. And that React Redux and Redux Toolkit are mostly concerned with React, using Redux with React. Okay, and that Redux package is just for conceptual thing. This is a general, this is for general conceptual having general conceptual knowledge in Redux itself. Okay, that's why we are starting from Redux for now. Okay, do you know what is reducer? Can you recall it once again? Can anybody just quickly assist me? What is reducer? You can just say that reducer was used somewhere. Maybe we can continue from there. Do you know where did we use reducer previously? I think Ganesh is waiting in the lobby. Maybe I can admit him. I don't know if I can or not. I'm admitting him here. Okay. Yeah. Guys, can you recall where did we use reducer previously? Have you heard about this term? Have you heard this term previously? No idea? Reducer, right? Do you know, have you heard, did you any time in our previous session hear the term use reducer?
Is it the same as use state?
Use state, yeah, it is similar, right? We went to use reducer after doing something in use state, right? We learned some of the concept in use state first, and then we went to use reducer.
Yeah.
I think we have
Okay.
implemented counter or something like.
Right. And there inside use reducer is a hook, right? Use reducer is a hook from React. And do you know we use the term reducer? We pass reducer inside use reducer.
Like the reducer must be the like function.
Yeah, reducer is a function.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that is the first argument of the use reducer hook. Let me see where is this implemented. I think it is not here inside basic React. Maybe connect, not here. A feedback app. I think we didn't use it here as well, because in feedback app we didn't have use reducer. State management, I think, right? Here you can see reducer. Something like this. Reducer is this function actually, isn't it? Such kind of function. Did we create it ourselves previously? Maybe we have forgotten this. We wrote it, right? Ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we used something called, let me see, where is this context used? The reducer hook used. Use reducer. We want to see where is the use reducer hook here. I'm not sure whether it is there or not. Not here. We have this count reducer. Let me source. Where are we using count reducer? We are not using anywhere. Maybe I have removed it from here, but we have used at least use reducer hook. And inside use reducer hook, we have passed that reducer, this reducer function. So use reducer hook accepts two arguments. One is the reducer function. Another one is the initial value of that reducer, or you can say state. And we implemented simple counter, means what is the flow? Can somebody quickly go through it or quickly assist me? What was the flow? What happens when we click on that button, counter button? Where is it going? Previously with use state hook, it is directly updating the state, right? But with use reducer hook, what is happening?
Isn't it just updating the state?
Yeah, it will also update the state, use user as well, but what first it will execute something before updating the state, right?
Mm.
Do you remember? What is it executing?
I'm not sure, sorry.
It will execute this reducer function itself, right? So when you use reducer hook, and in this reducer hook, we will first pass the reducer function name, count reducer, and then we will pass the initial value, and whatever coming from here will be stored in some variable called, let's say, dispatch and set dispatch. This is just a name, okay? You can write anything here, state or set state. Then what will happen if you have a button somewhere? Here I cannot write JSX actually. This should be written in some React component. Maybe I can go here. This is a reducer hook, and maybe if you have somewhere button, I'm just doing it here randomly. Button, and in that button, if you have something called, let's say, on click event listener, and here what you are doing is you are, after clicking, you are executing this set dispatch, and you are passing, let's say, something in set dispatch. Let's say initial value was initially 0, now you are passing 10, let's say. Okay, and will it directly update this dispatch? Will it directly update this dispatch and make it 10? If you remember, we passed something called object, and here we pass type and increment. Remember this flow? So where is it going now? It is going into this count reducer function actually, isn't it? And count reducer function may be somewhere. We need to import and we need to write, but it is here. And this state will be this value, right? Whatever we pass here. Or is it the previous value? Action is that value. Do you remember state and action? State is the current value, you can say, and action is the upcoming value. So upcoming value is here, and this state is the current value that we have in our application. So we will just say action.type, and if that type is increment, we write this, right? If that type is decrement, we write this. Now from here we update this state, and now finally this state will be updated. This dispatch is state, and this state will be updated finally. You can say this state anything if you don't like. Maybe you can set this as a dispatch. Okay, usually state updating function is called dispatch in Redux, we'll see. That's why I told you previously, these are the name we will use later in Redux. So this is the state. Now we are dispatching it. Means whenever we are dispatching, it will go into the reducer function. It is coming here as an action. State is already there. This is the state. This state. It will also come here into the reducer function. The current state, and this is the upcoming one. So we will actually see what is the action.type. If action.type is increment, then this is the new state. Now we are returning new state, and this will be this state now. If this action.type is decrement, we are returning another state, and this will be this state now. Actually, what I'm trying to say from here is, whenever you write this dispatch with use reducer hook, it will not directly update the state here, right? The state will not be this object. Do you remember in our use state hook? Use state. In our use state hook, we have, like, you can say this as state and set state dispatch as well, state and dispatch as well. But let's say this is as our number variable, number state, or set number. Name can be anything. Okay, here you can write anything as well. So instead of writing this, if I write set number here, then what will happen? Set number 10. Will it go in that count reducer, or will it directly update this number?
Will it? I think it might update it directly, no? For
Right,
sets now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It will directly update this number. This is the state updating function, not the reducer state updating function. This is a simple use state updating function. So use state updating function will directly update the state. It will not go in some extra reducer function. But this is the state updating function of use reducer hook. Coming from use reducer hook, you can also say. Then when you write dispatch, then it will first execute this count reducer. And count reducer, the job of count reducer is to update this state. Previously, it was the job of set number. The job of set number is to update this number. Now, it is not the job of dispatch to update this state. Dispatch will simply dispatch this to some extra function. It is just sending it, dispatching it, right? Now, that extra function will handle it, will take the dispatch, process it, and send appropriate state, right? Are you understanding? How is the flow going here? So there are two hooks essentially in React, use state and use reducer hook. Use state simply update the state directly. Use reducer will go into the reducer function first and then it's update the state. So this was just a recap from our previous session. I can simply discard it. Now let's do the similar thing in Redux. Actually, it is required here. That's why I just thought that let's quickly recap it. So in Redux as well, we will have similar approach. So actually, we will do similar thing when we reach React Redux, but we will going to actually we are going to reach there. But first, see plain Redux. Because it is plain, we don't have anything, right? We can simply have like index.js file here, maybe, or redux.js file. We don't have anything because this is not related to React. I already told you, Redux is not created for React only. It can be used anywhere, in other JavaScript application or in other programming languages as well. But we need Redux. Redux is not here. We only have index.js file, right? Where is Redux actually? These are all the packages related to JavaScript. So whenever you want packages related to JavaScript, maybe do I have? Let me see. Let me grab some browser if I have somewhere. Okay. So Redux, you can simply go to npm.js. This is the repository, right? Maybe you can go to yarn pkg if you are using yarn. So you can just search here for Redux. Oh, I think it should be available. Yeah, Redux. Yeah, we have Redux here. This is the package we want. See, it is updated 9 months ago. You can search for the same package here as well. This is also available here. You can use any of them. See here 4.2.0 version, and here it should be as well 4.2.0. So you can either use npm or yarn. These are just the dependency package manager. Maybe we can use yarn to install Redux. So what do we need to do now? We need to actually open our terminal, go to Redux. Okay, you can do it in your plain folder. Okay, so here we have index.js currently, nothing more. So we want to do yarn add this. Oh, we already have this script. We can write yarn add Redux there. If I hit enter now, Redux should be added here, but yeah, it is added here. But if you do it with package.npm, then I think you need to do npm maybe npm init, something like that initially. But I think it is not required with yarn. See here, Redux is installed, right? But Redux contains other sub dependencies here. It is requiring Babel. It is requiring regenerator runtime. These are all here in node modules. See here 231 changes because we didn't ignore that node underscore modules. Let's actually add it in git ignore file. Node underscore modules. And if I save it now, it shouldn't be 232. It's only 4. So here is the Redux package, because Redux is the package, right? It is created by some developer. It is available in either npkg or npm.js. We don't just want to grab it. We just installed it, and now we can use it. So what I can do is I can write import Redux from Redux. So I'm importing it, but it will not work actually. If I run, I can run this JavaScript file using node index.js by writing node index.js in the terminal. It says you cannot use this line actually. That's why it is having this error. If you want to write this line, then you need to write this type module in your package.json right here. Okay, now let me try to run it once again. Now it is working, no error. So you need to add this JSON property type module if you want to write this ES module syntax. Okay. So yeah, what you need to do is, if you are doing together with me, create empty folder. Inside that empty folder, go to your terminal, write yarn add redux, create git ignore file, add this node underscore module there because we want to ignore it. We don't want too many changes. Go inside package.json, add this line type module, so that we can run this. We can import it in this way and run it. Okay, using node index.js. You need to create index.js file and import Redux in there. Okay, is this fine? Yeah, any question until now?
So far, it's good.
Yeah, just ask me if you want to wait, if I need to wait for some time, if you are doing together. So after doing this, now we will implement the similar flow. Okay, we will have reducer function somewhere, and from Redux. So what is this Redux actually? You can write console log Redux here. Let's see what is this Redux all about. What is there inside Redux? Now let me run index.js once again, and we'll see Redux in our console down there. See, Redux is nothing but this is a simple object. Isn't it an object? Is this an object wrapped in curly brace, right? We have some property here. Don't need to worry about this one right now.
No.
We don't. Yeah, we have this property here called apply middleware, bind action creator, combine reducer, compose, create store. Yeah, we have this property inside object. So Redux is, yeah. Is there something somebody want to ask or discuss? Yeah, just let me know, okay, if there is something. Maybe you can send message as well. I'm looking on the next screen. Okay, so what I'm saying is we have some property. This is object. This is nothing. Redux is nothing but an object. We have some properties here in that object, like apply middleware. We are more concerned with this thing called create store. So with Redux, we want to essentially create a central store. We just want single store, or we just want single location where we can have all of our global variables located. What was the issue with context? We need to create multiple contexts, right? One context for cart, another context for product. We don't want to do that. We just want to create a single context thing. Single context means single store here. Single location where we can store everything. We just don't want to create multiple context and manage multiple contexts, right? So with Redux, we will only create a single context that is called store here. You can say single store, and we will create it using this create store. Okay, so from Redux we are getting create store. So let's use it. So from Redux, let's use this create store. create store, and it is actually deprecated. You can see whenever something is crossed in this way, it is actually, it means it is actually going to be deprecated or already deprecated. Here you can see deprecated, and see, we recommend using configure store method. And see, it is recommended using Redux toolkit. Why are you using Redux? Just use Redux toolkit. And we already saw that it was maintained 9 months ago. So we also have another package called Redux toolkit. If you search for @redux/toolkit, I think. Let me just write Redux toolkit. It will just give me the suggestion. This is really popular one. Redux toolkit saga. Hit enter. Yeah, this one, Redux @redux.js/toolkit actually. Yeah. See, this is actively maintained. So it is actually maintained. Actually, it is updated 2 months ago. So you can see weekly downloads as well. This is really popular. But Redux is not that old. This is 9 months old. And you can see the monthly downloads here as well. This is also much more popular. And since this is actually asking you to use Redux toolkit, that's why this is just for conceptual part, having conceptual knowledge. We are eventually going to use Redux toolkit. Okay, don't worry about it. So even it is deprecated, we can still access it and we can still use it because it is available here. But that is not a good practice. If it is deprecated, then we need to find alternate way. So we are going to create a store here. Okay, we are going to create simple store here. And we're using create store. Create store will actually ask you to create some reducer function, because store will interact with reducer function and that reducer function will update the store. So once again, let me create similar reducer function like count reducer that we used previously. And now this is going to be the similar reducer function. I can just go there and grab it as well, maybe. Or I can create a simple one. First is state and second one is action. You know what is this state and action now, right? State is the current state, or you can say previous as well. If you want to say action is the current one. So you can say state is the current state, action is the information coming from dispatch as well. This is not exactly state. It can be information. Depending upon the information, you can change the state. So what is the information? Maybe that says increment, decrement, something like that. And from here, we will return our new state. Maybe we can have counter variable. And now we want to increase that counter variable. Okay. That counter variable is inside state, let's say. We are just assuming it. And we want to increase it by 1. So now this is the logic we'll write sometimes later, maybe. Don't worry about it. Currently, we don't have state and counter. So, but we need to have this reducer function here. Now, store will interact with this, or reducer function is linked with this store, you can say. Now we have successfully created our store. Okay, store is like a single location where you can go and access something, or you can go and buy something. Store can be something like Netflix. You can go and take a subscription, right? And each and every month it will ask you to actually update your payment method. Maybe send you invoice because you have actually taken the subscription. It will actually show you the recent released series as well, maybe movies as well, right? So because we have the subscription of Netflix, we are taking some subscription, right? So yeah, it means subscriber. This is the store. This is like Netflix, right? Now let's create create some subscriber to this store. Subscriber is like React component. Okay, subscriber will be like React component. Component will subscribe to this store actually. So for example, maybe we have like counter component. Okay, currently this is not the React project, so I cannot create component here. Maybe you can say counter subscriber. And from here, it will actually subscribe to the store. So what it will say is, I just want to get the value from the store. The value may be anything. I just want to subscribe to this store. So by writing store.getState, it has successfully subscribed to this store. So it will get the information from store now. So this is the state from store, or you can say latest state. Latest state of this store. Okay. So currently, only by writing we are not subscribing. Still we are not subscribing. We are just linking to this store. We are just going and trying to get something from the store, but still we are not subscribed completely. So what we need to do is we need to write store, and now we will ask store to subscribe. It is actually available. Currently we have a store, and let me quickly see what is there in this store. Okay, because this is not a store, this is actually Redux. Let me quickly show you what is there in this store. Console log store. So let's execute it, and you can see store has dispatch, subscribe, get state. That's why we are getting state from the store here. We are writing get state from the store. Now store has something called subscribe. Now we can use that function. So what are we going to do? We are going to subscribing someone to this store. Who is the someone? Maybe we'll write this later. Okay. Who is that some individual or some component? This is counter subscribe. We are going to subscribe this one to this store. Now we have successfully subscribed it. Okay, it is upon this particular component or particular individual, you can say, in terms of Netflix. It is upon that particular individual whether he want to consume something from the store or not. Maybe we can buy subscription from Netflix and watch nothing. That can also happen, right? But at least we have subscribed to this store. Okay, here we will, it will, so what is the cost here? So when we are subscribing to the real store like Netflix, we need to pay something, right? Some amount. But here the cost is like the performance will be slightly impacted. So when we are subscribing, when our component are constantly communicating with the store, our application will be, you can say, little bit slower, but very uh, that time will be very small. So we will not feel how much lag is there, but it will have some impact upon the performance. Okay, that's why Redux will have some impact, but that is not noticeable. So it is really small amount of time. But if your application is really huge, then you may notice a really small, maybe millisecond, half a second amount of time is consumed by that store when huge application is interacting, multiple components are interacting together with that store. Okay, so by writing this line, we are successfully subscribed to this store. You can write it here, right? But we need to create component above. So we are creating component. This is the component, you can say function. This is simple function currently. So here we are subscribing this function to this store. Now this function can take something from store. Otherwise, if we are not subscribing it, it cannot take something from the store. After subscribing this thing to our store, it can take some data from that store. Now what can it do? It can just write store dot get state. Now it will actually take the state. It will take that state from our store. Now it will get all the value from our store actually, because we are subscribing this to our store. So this is the basic logic behind Redux. Store is located somewhere, okay, and this is store. Okay, this is like a shop, you can say, and this is like us. Okay, we want to go and buy something from this store, maybe take something from this store. First, we will pay, right? We will subscribe, then we will buy. Okay, in this Redux world, we will subscribe to this store and we will take some state from this store. This is the continuous subscription. Okay, it will not it will actually be available in future as well, because we have already subscribed it. Like when you go and buy 1 month Netflix subscription, right? Maybe some amount, maybe for some duration. Until then, you can actually access anything from there, right? So this is like the same thing. We will subscribe it. This is lifetime subscription, you can say. So we are now actually getting some state from that store all the time. Okay, yeah. Any question, guys? Are you understanding regarding Redux? Maybe you may have some questions here.
Yeah, Gaurav, one small question. The
Yeah.
code will execute from up and down. Why aren't we not writing the subscribe before getting something, or that doesn't matter because the function is not called until it's subscribed?
Yeah, because we need to know who want to subscribe. Right? Without knowing who want to subscribe, we cannot subscribe. Anonymous user. Right? This is like a person who want to subscribe. This is like a component. Yeah, he can take some state later. This can be done later, but we need to at least create it.
Thank you.
Okay, it will be more clear when we actually use it in React, because this is just a conceptual thing. You don't have to do it right now because this is just a concept. You'll use this concept in React. Okay, so yeah, let's try to actually see then what is happening here. Maybe it will make more sense, right? So, okay, maybe I can write count reducer is running here, and similar console log inside here as well. So here count subscriber is running, and yeah, these are the two functions we have, right? Let's see which one is running first. What is happening here? Can write node index.js. See, count reducer is not only running. Count subscriber is not running here. Okay, so count subscriber is not running. This is not working actually. It is actually not getting, you can say then, it is not getting the state. Okay, why is this not getting the state? We are writing get the latest state. Means nothing is happening inside this count subscriber. We are just creating it, but it is not actually getting something from our store. We need to do something more then. So until here, we have already subscribed our function to our store. So this is like some processor in between. Like when you when you search in Netflix, there is a search bar, right? It will take really small amount of time to get you the result. So this is like that processor, you can say, count reducer. So now what we will do is we will as a React subscriber, currently as a subscriber, let's say this is a subscriber. So it will actually send some request to the store as a subscriber. So store will get some request. So this will send that request actually. Like let's say it has already sent request here. Hey store, give me some state. Then what will happen is store will get some dispatch. Okay, and that dispatch will actually come here. We'll see that. And let me just pass anything here. Let's say just test text. We are just passing some random test text, and let's first see what is state and action here before actually passing the dispatch. Console state and action. Let's see. Action. And when I run here, you can see the state is undefined currently. No state. We don't have any state. Okay. So action is the default action. By default, Redux will send this action. This is the default action. Okay. At first, it will send. That's why it is running count reducer. Without sending action, count reducer will not run. Previously, if you remember, without using dispatch function, our reducer is not executing itself. We need to dispatch it, and then our reducer will execute. It means to actually execute this reducer, we need to dispatch it. Okay, so let's see now what will happen. Okay, now we have some issue here. I think, yeah, it says whatever you are passing inside that dispatch, it should be an object actually. But I'm just passing simple text. That's why I told you previously, in use reducer hook, we can pass anything, but in Redux, we will pass object, and in there, we will pass something like type, let's say increment. Previously as well, we did it, right? Now let's see. Let me clear it. And once again, run it. Now see, this is the first time when count reducer was running until here. Now it is running once again. Okay, so the state is still undefined, but you can see here the type is increment. So what we can do here is whenever the type is increment, let's say we are returning here, we are returning something which will actually increment the counter, but we don't know the initial value of this state. That's why it is undefined. We can pass initial value by having some defining initial value here, or we can directly pass the default value, right? If the initial value have counter which is 0, let's say. Initial value is having counter property which is 0. Later we will update this counter. So now when I do not write this dispatch here and I run it, see here counter is having initial value 0. Now if I write this increment and save it and run it, still it is having initial value 0 because we are not updating this state. So what we do? We will just update this state. So let's see now once again. So see here, initially it is having counter 0. Now it is updated. Counter is 1 here. So if you once again dispatch it here, counter will be once again updated. So now counter is 1 and now counter is 2. So this is updating the state all the time. And that state is consumed here in the count subscriber. So you can see count subscriber reducer is running because state is updating there, right? And you can see here as well, console log. And just write latest text. Now let's see. At first, when we are not passing the dispatch, see this is not running. Count subscriber reducer is not running. Now when I pass the dispatch here, this count reducer is running and count subscriber reducer is also running, and it is getting the latest state. Okay, so yeah, if you write it one more time, you can see count subscriber reducer is once again running and it is getting the latest state. So yeah, this is the flow actually. So what will we do then? Where are we going to use this dispatch thing? We are going to use this dispatch thing in our React component.
Hey Gorak,
So yeah.
can I see your package.json once, please? Quick.
Oh, sure. Yeah. This one, maybe let me commit this as well so that you can directly pull it.
I think I got it.
Okay, you can get that code from GitHub as well.
Okay, thank you. I got it. No, thank you.
Yeah, okay, sure. So later we will use this dispatch thing in React component. Don't worry about that. We don't need to worry about this subscribe thing. Okay, this will be automatically done. We only need to worry about this thing later, and we just need to worry about this thing. This thing will be handled itself by Redux Toolkit. But from here, what I want to just let you know is there will be some store somewhere, and that store will contain all of your data in your application, all of your data that we are using in your application, that you want to sync with your application. And you need to actually get that data. Okay, but you can also send some data as well. We will send data using dispatch. We will get data using get state, something like that. All right, so there will be a single location which will actually hold your store. Okay, that is all what you need to know right now. And this is the simple example. Actually, this is not what we will do. This is just for conceptual thing. Okay, any question? Maybe you can say increment, decrement. We haven't actually checked here, right? Maybe this is decrement. And what you can do here, instead of returning it directly, we haven't checked anything regarding action. We are actually getting action here. For example, let's say return, depending upon what we are getting. Let's say if action dot type is equals to increment, then at that time increment it. Let's say now we want to return our counter which is incremented counter, and the value of counter is incremented here if it is increment. If it is decrement, if action data type is decrement, then we want to actually decrease it. So now we are passing increment and decrement. Let's see. Let's finally see what will be the latest state here. We just are worried here, right? This is the real consumer actually. You need to know what is the latest state. It doesn't worry about what is the logic written here. You just want the latest state, right? So let's go here and clear it. Maybe now we can run node index.js. See, you are subscribing twice. One, you want to increment it, then you want to decrement it. That's why it has incremented it, then decremented it. If you have two increment here, then it will increment twice. See, 1, 2, 1, incrementing it. So you can send dispatch in any amount. So then you will see it is incrementing, then finally decrementing at the end. Okay, request may be of any amount, but you need to handle those requests here. So what is the type coming? Is it increment or is it decrement? Sometimes you'll send value from here as well. You need to handle that value as well. Okay. Right? You just need to go here and see what is coming in the action. And just write node index.js here, and you are seeing action is first increment. That's why this is the default one. It will not impact your reducer. So this is the increment. That's why you have counter 1. Increment. That's why you have counter 2. Increment 3. So you have increment. That's why it is incrementing all the time. But finally you have decrement. That's why you are decrementing finally. Maybe you may have some different one. For example, the second one is like increase by 10, let's say. So at this time, you need to send what is the amount. Okay, amount, let's say amount is 10. All right, but we haven't handled this case. If I run it now, I'm getting this here, but we are not handling it. So what you need to do, go here and handle that type as well. So you need to handle this increase by 10 here, increase by 10. If increase by 10 is coming, then you want to actually get increase it by 10. That 10 is coming in your action actually, right? Action dot amount. You will actually write state dot counter plus action dot amount. So let's see what will happen. If you now run index.js, see, first it is incremented because we have this increment here. Now it is incrementing by 10. That's why you have counter 11. Finally, it is decrementing. So we have counter 10. So this is the simple flow. Okay. We will actually implement it using Redux toolkit now. React Redux as well as Redux toolkit. So any question, any confusion, guys? So this is plain Redux. Now, actually, React Redux is already implemented in Redux toolkit. Redux toolkit actually. So I will not go and use React Redux now because nowadays Redux toolkit is becoming a standard package instead of React Redux. So I will now use that React Redux directly with React. All right, and we will see this flow that is really easy. We don't need to worry about this thing. Many things here. Okay, so finally, I'll create a folder called Redux Toolkit. So here we want to use Redux with React. Okay, so since we want to use React here, first we need to install React, right? You know how to install React? How can I install React in some folder? What should I do?
Yeah, create React app.
Yeah, you can use Create React app, but alternative of Create React app is Create React app is slightly slower. You don't want to use Create React app.
It?
Yeah,
Create
maybe you
React.
can use Read. Yeah. So for that we have command like, so let me do another one, okay? Instead of using the same command, because the another one is also important. So if you go to read, you will see there are different command that you can use. That is, first one is npm. I just don't actually like this command, so it is really annoying sometimes in the terminal. So dependency management is not that much good here. Yarn is slightly better, but there is a more better command called pnpm. Maybe most of you are not aware about it, even if you are working. So this is actually the one that is more, you will be amazed how fast is this for larger project. If you work on the larger project, then this is regarding dependency management only, okay? So it will actually easily manage your dependency. Let's say, for example, if you want to install all of the dependency, it will be finished within 4 or 5 seconds. So it will actually store the snapshot version of the dependency in your local environment. So yeah, you can go and see about pnpm somewhere. Maybe in ChatGPT it will give you better result, but let's directly use it here. Let's write pnpm create vid instead of using yarn. But you need to have pnpm, right? You can write pnpm -v to see if pnpm is there or not. So most of you may not have this command already installed. Then you need to write npm I pnpm -z to install it globally on your PC. Okay, so you need to first write this command to install pnpm, otherwise it will not work. Alright guys, are you trying right now, some of you?
Yes.
And are you able to install it? Asis, are you able to run this command? Is it installed?
I'm getting the. I'm typing it still. 1 second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, maybe some of you, if it is working, just let me know so that others
Oh,
can
yeah.
also follow.
I think it is
Hey,
working.
Gaurav, can you show me the command once more time?
Yeah, this is the command here. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
This one. You need to write npm space I space pnpm space -z and hit enter in your terminal.
Okay.
Okay, sometimes if you are using Mac OS, you need to write, or Linux, you need to write sudo here to give administration permission. At that time, you need to write your password as well. But most of the time, we'll write this command to install this package called pnpm. Yeah, until then, you can just research about pnpm as well. Maybe you can say, let me see if it is available. Sometimes it goes down. Yeah, so is pnpm better than yarn? Or you can first ask, what is pnpm? So yeah, it is the package manager for JavaScript and Node.js. See, we are using JavaScript here. So most of the time, it is most popular within this monorepo kind of structure. But ask, is pnpm better than yarn then? So actually, they have different features and performance. So yeah, it depends upon the usage as well. pnpm will hard link. Yeah, it will save disk space because, as I already told you, node modules are always downloaded from server. It will actually download it itself, locate it somewhere in your disk, and if that version is not updated, then it will just use that cache local version of that node modules. That's why it will save disk space as well. So yarn will not actually cache it. It will download all the time the packages. Okay, so this is small detail about pnpm. Yeah, you can just write this command. Once you install it, now what you can do is use pnpm command, pnpm create read. Okay, just write this command and hit enter. Oh, I think, where am I? I'm inside Redux. I need to go inside Redux too. Okay, let me stop it. I need to go out. And I need to go inside Redux toolkit. Not found. This is not correct. Redux toolkit, and here let's install React using pnpm. pnpm create read. So yeah, you can write dot if you want to install it in directly in your folder. And we want to select React. And then we just want to go with JavaScript for now. We don't want to worry with TypeScript because we don't want to do something more, spend some more time there. That's why JavaScript. Now I can write pnpm space I and it will install the dependency. At first it may take time, but when you are making multiple projects in your PC, then it will be really faster. You may realize that how fast it is once you start using it. Okay, so yeah, it has already it has not used anything here, any dependency here. It has downloaded 83 and added 83. Now let me delete this node_underscore module, and I will try to do it once again. I'm completely deleting it. Okay, and let me, for now, node_underscore module is not here. Let me do it once again. npm I. See how fast is this? It has reused those all the cached packets. It hasn't downloaded any package now. It's really fast, right? It has completed it within 1 or 2 seconds. So yeah, it's really easy to use PNPM. It will not use your disk space, as well as it will be really fast. So yeah,
Correct.
you can try it out. Yeah. Yes.
For the variant of the language, we're using JavaScript for this one, right?
What was that? For that, we are using it for React. Yeah, for JavaScript.
Yeah, and React JavaScript. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can use it for other as well. This is just a package manager. If you are using it in others like Vue.js or Svelte or other platform, it will also work. So it is just a package manager. It will just have the local cached version. So okay, let's go, and yeah, we have already installed React. Let's run it. Now you need to use pnpm. Okay, in your package.json we have dev, build, and preview script. Previously we used to write yarn dev. Now we'll write pnpm dev. Okay, so this is a React project that we have. So we want to install Redux Toolkit now because we want to use Redux Toolkit with React. So you need to actually, let me first go to that folder. Now you need to use pnpm once again, okay? And install I for install. Now you need to write the name of the package. So what is the name of the package? You can go here and search, like just write Redux Toolkit if you don't know anything. Or you can just type here, for example, how can I install toolkit with pnpm? It will give you the exact answer, but you can just search here the name of the package as well. For example, you can go here, right, get started, and this here is the name of the package. But you have the exact answer here. What do you need to do? Just write pnpm add redux/toolkit. I think add command is also working. Either you can write add or I. Okay, let me just copy this command. Let's see. Let me first do it using I command. I'll just copy the package name because I have pnpm I. This is just a package name, and it should be listed here. Okay, once I install it, let's see. So see here, it is using, it has reused 83 packages already. Some of these are resolved. It is downloading 6 packages. Now it is completed. Redux Toolkit. So now it will be, let me try to, you can uninstall it as well. Okay, you can write pnpm uninstall and the name of the package if you want to uninstall it. Now this is removed from there. You can write pnpm add as well, I think, because there was that listed add word. Let's see. Yeah, this is really fast now. So I can uninstall it. Now, if I try to install it now, pnpm add, for example, let's say, yeah, let's say I can write I as well. This will be really faster. So it is not faster for this project. It will be faster for entire other React project in your PC as well. Because if you are using pnpm, okay, because it has cached those packages already. If I hit enter now, see, it has immediately downloaded it and used it. Because it is reusing. It hasn't downloaded anything. It is reusing the package in your PC. Okay, so yeah, this is about the installation part. Now tomorrow we will go with Redux Toolkit. Today I just want to simply go with the documentation. Redux Toolkit. So this is the official one, Redux Toolkit. This is Redux Toolkit CS.org. And we have already installed it using pnpm. Now it is saying what is included here. It is containing this kind of thing, like it is containing configure store. We will use it, create a user. See, to create a user, we have one function here. So we have like create slice. This is really important. So what do we need to do then? It is saying like RTK query. we have like Redux toolkit query. We'll see about it, but it more, yeah. We will see about Redux toolkit query slightly later, but we just want to use Redux toolkit only. Let's go in some example somewhere, maybe. I think there are some usage guide. Let's go there. And here is the whole code. We don't want to actually go with that right now. We want this one actually. So it is saying like the simplest way to actually create your store is to use configure store. Okay, and we need to create reducer somewhere. So then we need to go here. Let me quickly commit it. Now what we need to do is we need to create a store. Maybe you can create a folder called store, and there you will create a store. And tomorrow we will create some folder called components as well. And there we will create React components. And component will interact with this store and get the latest value from this store. Previously we have context, right? We are creating context. Now we are replacing this context with this store. So components will be once again there. So components will now interact with the store. So you can see how to create a store here. It is actually providing you the instruction how to create a store. And root reducer should be also there. And there down here somewhere, you have, see, this is the reducer. Now you will actually use it from some React component. So let's see. Let's see if we have some example for React as well. So this is all the thing regarding Redux toolkit. We'll actually see. And here is the sandbox, which is actually having, I think, it implemented with React. See here in our React, what are we doing? We are actually importing. Let's see. This is actually tsx file. What is this returning? Yeah, it has this counter. It has this button. So once it click on the button, increment a function will execute. Increment a will be somewhere above. It is coming from some action creator. So we'll do this thing actually in React component tomorrow. Okay, this kind of thing. But you can just go here and open it in sandbox and see what is there. So you have counter a here, counter b here. So index.tsx here. And yeah, it is using actually React. So it's easy for you as well. So just try to find out what is actually happening here, how it is actually interacting with Redux toolkit, how dispatch are executed. So what happens when we click on this counter? Yeah, you can just see and try to understand somehow yourself, and we will actually do it tomorrow, do this thing tomorrow. Okay, any question on your side? All right, so yeah, I think you can actually give around 15 to 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, to quickly go through this all of the files or folders. You don't have to actually use this project. Maybe you can go in YouTube, just write a React toolkit with Redux toolkit with React. There you can watch around 5 minutes of video, 5 to 10 minutes. Then you will quickly know how it is going to be used in React. And then we'll do the same thing, similar thing tomorrow. Okay. All right, so can we end this session here? Yeah, maybe Ganesh, do you want to ask me something? Okay, guys, so then let's end this session here. We'll meet tomorrow, and actually tomorrow we'll implement Redux toolkit with React. Yeah, so let's meet tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gaurav.
Have a good
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, everyone. Good night.